off the field too, of staying accountable even whenever things aren't necessarily going your way?
Yeah, I believe it's understanding your role, accepting it, identifying that, and then from there being able to grow for the betterment of the team, because we need everyone to win the Super Bowl. We need everyone, from coaching, from staff, to be Class A and Grade A. And when someone's down, you pick your brother up. So that's really what it's about. It's about learning. It's about growing.
Yeah. You bring up the coaching and staff, obviously, a new one this year. What are your thoughts of Mr. Mike McCarthy? I know you've been asked that many, many times, but now you're seeing him through game times, and how do you like his coaching style?
I love him. These guys are very, when you talk about attention to detail and just love for the game, and they want to see us be successful. It matters when you're a player out there on the field and your coaches believe in you. So it's a blessing to be able to play under the great head coach Mike McCarthy. But I think we're all destined on what we need to accomplish. We're all locked in and focused.
And it's a completely different setup when it comes to having no preseason. You didn't have the offseason that you're normally used to having, and then a new head coach. I'm curious, just what were those conversations like in the offseason? I know they were virtual conversations with the Zoom calls and the FaceTimes and the different phone calls that were made, but what was the first thing that Mike McCarthy kind of said to you as one of those captains on the defensive side?
Yeah, the COVID-19 pandemic definitely took its course on limitations from really being able to get together and gather this off season. So we're working full throttle to catch up and get ready and continue to grow. But that's really what it's all about, man. It's about communication, and it's about growth. So that's really what we're focused on.
Yeah, I know you were mentioning Mike Nolan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was curious also, Mike Nolan-wise. You're implementing a new system when it comes to the Cowboys defense. It's a lot different from what Rod Marinelli had run previously with the old staff. But what are some of the biggest changes that you've seen now getting into what is now week 4 of the NFL season on that side of the football?
I think it's just an everyday grind, especially when you're installing a whole new defense. It's going to take extra preparation. It's going to take us coming together and getting together to do a little more walkthroughs, on our own as players, and really just taking charge of this thing, because the fact is the fact. We haven't been together for 3-4 years in the same defensive system, with Mike Nolan coming in this year. So I think we're all locked in. We're all motivated, but we just got to give more.
Yeah, Kyle and I were talking before the show just about the different stadiums that you've been blessed to play in throughout your entire football career, going back to a little school called Notre Dame. I know you guys don't get many fans at those games.
Just a couple.
Go Irish.
Just a few. Go Irish. And, the fact of the matter is that we're fortunate with AT&T Stadium where they can have a limited capacity, but now you've played in 2 stadiums where they're completely empty, especially one like CenturyLink. It's so different. I mean, it felt weird watching it. Like, that's not Seattle. How did it feel playing there yesterday with just such an empty field? And it's weird because you can hear the fan noise, but it's like, what? Like, I think they even do fan boos, which is so bizarre. What did you think about that?
I ain't gonna lie, it's a little weird not having fans. Playing on these prestigious levels, you're used to all the fans and all the chatter and the extra adrenaline and all the good things. But I tell you what, when you step out on that field and you get in between the lines, it's all competition. So you better be locked in. I think it's a blessing, having AT&T Stadium, old Jerry's World, being able to get some capacity in there, get some of our fans in there, and and kind of create that home field advantage. But you talk about away games, you kind of got to create your own juice or momo on the sidelines within each other.
Yeah, I know. We were saying so now obviously that's a limited capacity, but it gets loud in AT&T Stadium. Even if it's 21,000 people, it's loud. And can you tell the difference? I know you're locked in on the field, but what is the difference like between having real life people and then the fake fan noise?
Yeah, it's a difference. You could definitely tell. I will say, I'm a firm believer in, when you step between them lines, it's about locking in. And you playing against that guy next to you that's one of the best players in the country as well. You got to really be tuned in. So nobody's worried about fan noise or nothing like that around that time. It's okay. Let me do my job and let me beat my opponent.
Now, but I want to get into kind of the practice routine that Mike McCarthy has set with you guys in training camp coming up here in just a little bit. But you said you have to create your own mojo. You got to create your own hype on the sideline. What are some of the things that lead to that? I don't know if you can tell me everything because we are on the radio and we are commissioned to be positive, and I want to hear what your routine is, what your hype up is on the sideline, if there's anything that stands out.
I know before the game, right before kickoff, or right before kickoff, a few of the defensive players, we get together in a circle and we talk our talk, getting ready to go. Before the game, after we come out and do all our warm-ups and stretches, there's usually a leader that'll speak to us before the game, and just like you said, creating that our own mojo, and juice just to get ready.
Yeah, see, Jaylon is being very modest,
yes,
as he usually is, because no one has had the clear-eye view that this man has had since his entire career. And I think that's where your leadership really developed. Now, obviously, you were a leader in college, but when you had to go what you went through your rookie season, that makes a difference. You know how to lock in now because that moment wasn't guaranteed for you. So how do you convey that to the younger guys who are just getting here and you're like, no, y'all, focus because this is NFL.
It's the everyday challenge of literally taking it play by play and one play at a time, to have that consistent focus on your mental is one of the more difficult things at the highest level. Once you can work to master that, I think then you can really, truly believe to kind of get some success and work towards success. So it's like I said, it's just an everyday grind of working to reach our maximum potential individually and collectively.
Well, and a lot of those young guys, especially on the defensive side of the football, are very fortunate to have a leader like you that has that clear-eye view and has that mentality when it comes to keeping focus on that side of the football and making sure that you're ready to get your job done, no matter the circumstances, because there's been quite the few different circumstances here in 2020, and I'm sure there will be throughout the rest of the time. We're going to take a break here on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. Before we head to break, get your tickets now to see the Cowboys take on the Cleveland Browns when they return to AT&T Stadium on Sunday, October 4th. A limited number of tickets are on sale now. Get yours today at DallasCowboys.com/tickets. More of the Cowboys Hour with Jaylon Smith when we return here on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Get 10% off your groceries with every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Kyle Yeomans alongside Taylor Stern as we're joined by Jaylon Smith, linebacker for your Dallas Cowboys. And Jaylon, you mentioned this in the first segment when we were kind of getting into the different feel of not having fans in the stands. You said whenever you're in between the lines, whether it's game day or not, it's all about competition. You said that a couple different times, but I want to relay that back to what Mike McCarthy has kind of done as the new head coach for the Cowboys here in his first year, at least throughout training camp and some of the practices that we've been able to see leading into this crazy 2020 season. It seems like the tempo is up. It seems like there's a whole new importance in terms of the time that you guys have in practice. Is that some kind of competition that you love as a player leading into a season?
Yeah, I believe competition is healthy. Competition is very healthy, and it's important that you can understand the head coach's clear direction on what he really wants us to accomplish, and the metrics to get there. So there's a lot of education brought on to us this year prior to the season, and even now today.
Is that something that's helped you out in terms of playing in front of no fans at this point?
Yeah, I just think understanding our whole perspective, you have to know your terrain. So understanding what you're getting yourselves into, what type of opponents are you dealing with? Are they going to be talking a lot of trash on the field, or let's say later in the season we play an away game, at a stadium that's allowing a limited amount of capacity. Understanding that, all of that stuff matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you were saying earlier, you guys kind of feel like you are catching up to this point. How do you feel physically? A lot of guys had to work out on their own for so long, and in a different way. Like, working out on your own is different than when you have OTAs and minicamp. You know that. So have you seen it kind of affect these guys physically, or how do you feel that everyone's handled that aspect of it?
I personally, I feel great. I feel like our team, although we have some guys that are banged up, it was healthy getting a chance to, get a little load off your legs. Not as much, for preseason and things of that nature, to be a little more fresh going into the season. But kudos to our coaching staff that he really is invested in ourselves, our mentals, our physicals, our bodies, on making sure that on Sundays we can perform at optimal.
Yeah, you say mental, and obviously that was a big thing a couple weeks ago with Dak. And I know you and Dak are tight. I know you're very open about mental health and all of that. And I would just love to get your perspective on that, because I feel like that's such a big thing, especially this year. We've talked about how it can kind of be wearing on these guys. How do you feel like you handled those challenges?
There's a lot of looking in the mirror, the guy in the glass. A lot of people call it, but literally just going to my bathroom and looking in the mirror and being able to understand who I am, speak to myself, be real about all different type of, pain bodies that I have, or, just things that I'm trying to overcome in my personal. And I think it really helps that, when you can communicate about that with people that you love, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool that is on this coaching staff.
Absolutely. And you mentioned earlier being accountable to your teammates. Really, in order to be accountable to your teammates and be able to continue to pour into those guys, you have to be accountable to yourself as well. And it really starts with the inner side of your mindset and really getting your mind right. How are some of the things that you've been able to look at, like you said, looking in the mirror, the man in the mirror, and portray those and pour that into your teammates around you on and off the field?
Understanding perspective, and just paying it forward. There's a lot of guys that look up to you. There's a lot of guys that you can learn from as well. And just, I think it's just having the discipline to be a sponge and soak everything in. I think that is what can help you lead and help you also, learn.
Yeah. It's your second year now without Rod, and we miss him here. He's the best.
I talked to him this morning. I talked to brother this morning.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, how are you guys talking it through? Because it's weird,
Yeah.
How often did you see him in the off season? And then now this season, you're still NFC East enemies. I put that in quotation because you're not. You're brothers. But, how's that been?
He still lives in the Frisco Little Elm area. So we spent our whole off season training together in our little quarantine bubble with our cousin Tyrone Watts, who actually works at Cowboys Fit here at the Star. So that was pretty dope. But no, he's with the Giants on the practice squad right now. So looking forward to whenever we can link up. I definitely want to knuckle his head a little bit,
Have you
throw some fists around.
Talk to him about Garrett up there now?
I haven't really, but I know he's happy to be with familiar faces. Jason Garrett, Stevie B, and a few other of those guys.
That's too funny.
It's so tough to work out in the off season. And I know you had talked about really the quarantine and really getting your body in shape for a season. How much did it help having Rod to kind of bounce off of and kind of have that training back and forth with in order for you to get ready heading into the year?
A lot. Him playing, especially with him playing running back and then me playing linebacker, just being able to do a lot of one-on-one routes, different type of pass blocking, pass rushing mechanics to kind of stay fresh, and then specifically working on areas that we needed to improve on this offseason. It was just tremendous being able to be with my idol, my big brother.
I know. You're slowly turning Dallas and Texas into like the new Indiana for you. Like everyone's coming down here now. Like,
let's go.
You are.
Let's go. It started with Anthony Spencer.
Yes,
I will say Anthony Spencer. His little brother is my best friend. We grew up together. When Anthony got drafted to the Cowboys, I was in the 6th grade and we were coming back from like an AAU tournament because basketball is really huge in Indiana. And it was like, wow, Anthony got drafted. It's like, whoa, we're going to Dallas. And then next thing you know, a lot of us are here.
I know. That feels like the Martins, obviously, they're coming down to Texas. And then, obviously, the whole Smith family from your mom to cousin, like, everyone is down in Dallas now. But also in Dallas is all of your businesses, because if anybody follows you on social media, they know what an immense entrepreneur and businessman you are. And now, you have the iCryo. And then, of course, you have the MEI Institute, which is awesome, and it's in its 2nd year now. But why was it so important to spread that not only like home base Indiana, but bring it where you are now in Dallas?
Because Dallas is home. I'll be here for the rest of my life. So it's all love, and it's Dallas. Everything is bigger in Dallas. It's Big D. It's a lot of opportunity. You talk about connections, just really being able to make an impact, and that's really what it's all about. It's about helping.
Tell us more, because Kyle and I were talking about it before the show, but tell us more about how important it was for you to have the MEI. It was kind of the first showcase event that you had in Texas, and obviously I think it was pushed back for COVID, but you still made it work, and you still were able to provide, correct me if I'm wrong, but over $100,000 worth of money to go to these different entrepreneurs.
$600,000.
$600,000.
Yes,
I think each of them got $100K, right?
5 winners. It was split off. It was split up based on needs, and we had a first and second and a third winner prize. But all 5 competitors received rewards from over $600,000. It's a blessing. We had like over 147 applications throughout the Texas marketplace, and with help from my advisory team, we were able to narrow it down to a top 5, and all 5 companies were vestable companies, and we get to share in the success. So it's a blessing. It's all about helping close the economic and educational gap that exists in this world today, and it's just a blessing to be a part of it.
What was really the driving force behind you really wanting to make an impact in that area, in that regard, in terms of starting the foundation in the first place and really driving it so far into what it has become already?
It's I think in life you want to identify your purpose. What is your purpose? And the MEI is my purpose beyond athletics. It's something that's dear to my heart. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I just wanted to be about growth. And for me, it's just about, how can I help others, and specifically people that look like me, get those type of opportunities that aren't really presented. So it's a collective effort. We all need each other, and we can't achieve true equality without economic equality. So just trying to help do my part. Committed to $2.5 million over the next 10 years.
Wow.
For this initiative. So just got to keep it going.
That's awesome. Where can people learn more about that before we go to break?
MEIcapitalfund.org, or you can go to my website, JaylonSmith.com.
JaylonSmith.com is that easy. All right, we will be right back with more Jaylon Smith on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, and we are brought to you guys in part by Lucchese, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, and of course, Papa John's. Order Papa John's Cowboys Family Special, a large specialty pizza and a large 2-topping pizza for just $24 at papajohns.com. Official pizza of your Dallas Cowboys, limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary. We will be right back.
To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Back here on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. Glad you're with us on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. Kyle Yeomans alongside Taylor Stern and Jaylon Smith. And Jaylon, you, of course, coming up, we mentioned it earlier in terms of the stadiums and the pageantry that you've been around in terms of your career throughout high school into college at Notre Dame and now as a part of the Cowboys. It's crazy to be a part of such a journey that's so emphatic about that case. But whenever you talk about really the fan base being around you in a season that's so uncertain like this one, has anybody really reached out and how has the support been for you in a year like this where there's so much uncertainty going into it?
The support is there, but I think across the entire nation, if you love the Cowboys, you understand that you want to win, and we want to win.
Yeah.
That's the perspective that we all have, players included. So we're working our tails off, and we're going to keep giving it all our God. We're gonna get this thing rolling. We're going to get this thing rolling for sure.
Yeah, Jaylon, we were talking before the break about how awesome your MEI Institute is and what you're doing as an entrepreneur. But I got to ask you, there's interesting feedback sometimes because a lot of people just want you to be so focused on football. Like, all you can do is football and you can't have the time. But that's not true. We all know that you guys have lives outside of football. You have to set yourself up for success. And I know you talked about it last year in your press conference. Like, you want to set yourself up for success. So have you gotten any negative criticism like, hey, you just need to be thinking about football? Or have you ever heard that, whether it be from fans or different people?
Yeah, it's definitely come up for sure. For me, I'm more than an athlete. I'm more than just a football player, than just an employee. You know what I'm saying? For the Dallas Cowboys, it's a blessing and it's a privilege and it's a right to be a part of this organization, and very thankful, so thankful. But we like you said, we have lives. We have things that we want to accomplish, not for ourselves, but for our families and for our legacies, and for with this platform, people that look up to us. There's so much education that we want to get out there that may not have to deal with football sometimes. But one thing I can let everyone know for sure is I love the game of football, and I'm locked in.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm walking in, I'm ready to go. I really want to win the Super Bowl, and it starts with our preparation, and it starts with us eliminating our mistakes out there on the game, and on the football field. That's what we have to do, and so we can be the team that we know we can be.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you look up to guys, or are there other athletes that you've seen who've kind of done something similar as LeBron James? It comes to mind. These other guys that have made it where it's like they're able to manage it all.
Yeah, well, the beautiful thing about that is Jaylon Smith is not out doing all these different ventures on his own. Jaylon Smith is locked in on what he needs to be locked in. When it's all about having a team around you of trusted advisors that can help you accomplish everything you want to accomplish on and off the field, to where you can operate as a true entity. And that's really what I do. I'm so very thankful for everyone that's on my team that helped me accomplish everything that I want to accomplish. But it allows me to be locked in on what I need to be locked in on. So it's all love.
Now, are there times whenever you're looking at your game on the field and you're getting ready and you have these aspirations outside of football, but it really pushes you to be better in football, just from the motivation standpoint? You mentioned in the last segment that the MEI Foundation is one of the purposes that you believe you have in your life. Is that something that kind of drives you to work harder and to have that motivation in terms of playing the game itself?
Absolutely. It fuels it. It fuels it. It adds to it, because football is the first love. Ever since I was 7 years old, I wanted to be able to, I knew I was going to play in the National Football League. And now that it's come true, it's about giving all you got to the game, to give back to the game, and to so there's no regrets. You want to reach your maximum full potential, and you can't do that alone. That's why I just stress the importance of making sure you have people around you that are experts and that can help you accomplish what you want to accomplish. I'm able to focus on what I need to focus on because of my team. So and it's a blessing.
What do you do for fun? Well, if you're not at football and you're not running awesome businesses,
yes.
What are you doing for fun? Like, we've talked about golf before. I know that. But what are some things that kind of help you just like release?
My favorite cartoon is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Wow. Okay.
And I had a wonderful time rewatching the series multiple times during COVID-19. It finally aired on Netflix, and then the sequel, Legend of Korra, aired at August 13th on Netflix. So I've just been enjoying really educating people who don't know or haven't seen the series. It definitely attests a lot to life. You can learn a lot. It's a lot of hidden gems in there. So I'm a bowler.
You have been for quite some time.
I'm a bowler for sure. So I'm always throwing some strikes.
Now, when it comes to Avatar: The Last Airbender, if I were to be somebody who didn't know anything about that cartoon show, explain it to me in 60 seconds, and then also tell me which one you would be. Would you be an airbender, water, earth? Where would you be in that regard?
Okay, so like long ago, there were like 4 nations that lived together in harmony. There were the Air Nomads, the Water Tribe, the Earth Kingdom, and the Fire Nation. Well, one day, the Fire Nation attacked, seeking power and control over the entire world. And in each nation or kingdom, there are people of that tribe that can bend the specific element to their name. And
which one would you be?
There's one guy or girl that can bend all 4 elements, and he or she is then deemed the Avatar. And their duty is to restore balance of the world. And for me, I would be an airbender because I'm a Gemini and my earth sign is air, and I'm all about meditation and harmony, togetherness, awareness, good sense of humor. Those are some of the characteristics about me. So I actually have a tattoo on my leg that's of an arrow, and there's a whole other thing that we can get into to kind of explain you, but it has to do with the air nomads of the airbenders.
That's awesome.
I love it. Zeke just got the feed me tattoo. Tattoos mean a lot. If you're gonna put something on your body forever, it means a lot. So I like hearing that, because I always love to hear like why people chose certain tattoos, or that. Do you have any other special tattoos?
I do. Let's schedule that for another day. I got a whole bunch of them.
Are they all meaningful, or
all of them? All of them.
That's good.
All of them. Yeah, I don't believe in getting tattoos just because. They have to mean something. Even if it's the littlest thing, it has to mean something.
What's the biggest thing that you've had a tattoo of?
Man, I'm a mama's boy, so probably my mom's name, Sophia. Yes, I'm a mama's boy.
There you go.
I know. I only have one tattoo, but I'm always thinking, like, would I have done something different? Because once it's there, it's there.
It's there.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, but it's fun. How are your dogs doing? Because you added one, didn't you?
Yes. So I have a Achilles, and then our new addition. Her name is Bougie.
See, these are the things that people tune into Cowboys Hour for.
Yeah, Achilles and Bougie. Bougie's she's a Morkie, a Maltese and a Yorkie mix, and me and my lady, we got her around around my birthday back in June. and she's about to have her first period here in the next month. So
Oh, no.
These are the things.
diapers coming.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, dogs are. It's so funny to see how
Yes.
these guys, like, especially these big football players. Now he has a Morkie, and it's like Jaylon Smith with a Morkie. Like, that's just the irony that I love to see.
That's awesome.
Because I think like Tyrone has really small. He has like one huge dog,
Yeah.
and then one small one, and then Dak has a bunch of dogs. Zeke has all the dogs. You guys need to start like a little dog park or something.
I was
We
thinking the
should.
same thing.
We really
yeah,
should.
You just,
a big doggy play date or something.
yeah, it'll
I
be
just-
a football field.
I
It's a
just
whole
got
thing.
your next idea
Yeah.
for your businesses. A calendar.
Oh,
We did that. Remember that
Puppy
first
calendar.
couple years where
A
we did
puppy
the
calendar.
the
That
puppy-
would be dope.
Yeah,
Then we've
I'll
got-
call your people.
got Puppy Dak, a part of the Cowboys marketing last year. He's been a part of that. So yeah, hey, why not?
People
Let's
love dogs.
Make it a whole thing. Yeah, nobody can go wrong with dogs. That's absolutely something. So we're going to take our final break here on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. Before we do this summer, do more than just stay a part of the game and stay a part of the Dallas Cowboys to kick off football season at the Omni Hotel, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys, and enjoy all the dining and entertainment options at the Star and what they have to offer. We'll be back with more of Jaylon Smith here on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Final segment here of the Cowboys Hour presented by Miller Lite. Make sure and get your tickets now to see the Cowboys take on the Cleveland Browns when they return to AT&T Stadium this Sunday, October 4th. A limited number of tickets are still on sale at this moment. Get yours today at DallasCowboys.com/tickets. Should be a fantastic matchup as the Cleveland Browns come to town. Jaylon Smith's already prepping for those Cleveland Browns and looking forward to stopping that offense and slowing down Baker Mayfield. But, this is a time, like Taylor said earlier, that we get to know players and really get behind what they do on their normal basis in their regular lives. And, Jaylon, I want to catch you off guard here for a second, and we're going to keep things light, but also heavy at the same time. What was your quarantine routine? We've all had our quarantine routines in the past. Now, over the last couple of months, you mentioned Avatar. You can't say Avatar. It's got to be something else. What did you do throughout the course of the last couple of months leading into the season? And you can't say a workout either because we know you did that.
But that's what I did. That worked out.
I told you I'm going to make it hard on you here.
Man, I worked out. I barbecued a lot.
Okay.
What else did I do? I didn't learn how to swim. I need to learn how to swim. I didn't learn how to swim. I meditated.
Nice. Okay. Going to barbecue, yeah. I know a lot of our listeners on 105.3 The Fan, the flagship of the Cowboys, is they were really into that barbecuing lifestyle. I've seen a lot of those guys. Sean Sharif, who's on one of the morning shows for the Fan, has a big barbecue following. What were you barbecuing over the course of the offseason?
Beef ribs, burgers.
Nice.
I make a bomb burger.
Now,
cheeseburger. Some oxtails. I did a crawfish broil at the beginning of June.
Okay.
I can do it all.
You're a master griller.
I'm a natural.
I love it.
I'm a natural.
His favorite food, though, no one will guess because it's so unique. Is it still catfish and spaghetti?
Catfish and spaghetti.
What?
No one would guess that, but that's his favorite food.
Catfish and spaghetti.
Where did that come from?
Man, mom's catfish, fried catfish and spaghetti with some garlic bread. I don't know. It's a South Side thing. It's a South Side thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
have guessed that?
No, I would have probably said something along the barbecue route, not catfish. Is it fried catfish?
Fried catfish and
that's
spaghetti.
fine. I mean, catfish and macaroni and cheese go together.
Yes.
True.
Hand in hand. It's just a different type of noodle, right?
That's true.
It sounds weird, but I feel like in person.
Yeah.
You know what, Jaylon? I'm going to try some this week
Please,
just for you. I'm going to find a way to do it.
Send me a picture.
I'll send you a picture. I'll get you. I'll get you on that.
I think Rod did not like the catfish and spaghetti, or he's about that life too?
He's about that life. He loves banana pudding. That's his favorite dessert.
What's your favorite dessert? What do you go for with the desserts?
If it's not my grandma's cheesecake, then I love mandarin oranges.
Mandarin oranges.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't consider that a dessert.
Right, not really.
I know, but that's like the health that Jaylon is.
Yeah, that's why you're a top level football player, and I look like a retired punter. That's exactly what it is.
We have to eat more mandarin oranges.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. But the spaghetti and catfish would be a little bit fattening. Right? I mean,
you got to get you a little Peloton in after that. I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't lie to you. Little sauna action.
Yeah. How's the cryotherapy changed everything? Because that's a big thing you love.
But it's all about health and wellness. Everyone wants their body to feel right, and that iCryo is just another tool. Luckily, there's a facility like 3 minutes from my house, like 5 minutes from the Star. So I'm there every day. Every day at some point. Whether before or after work, getting an opportunity to heal my body. There's a lot of resources and things that we have here to heal, but you got to go the extra mile when you're playing at the highest level.
When did you start that?
When did I start what?
The cryo.
About a year ago, I got involved with the company, and just been going far from there. But I've been actually using cryotherapy for about 3.5 years now. Big tool to helping recover and heal my knee as well.
What happened? What was the biggest thing that you felt like helped with the knee? That, when you were recovering from the injury, what was the one thing that you're like, man, if I didn't do that, I would not be where I'm at?
Britt Brown. Yeah.
So when you're in the Hall of Fame, he's going to be your presenter?
He's going to be there for sure.
He'll be there for sure. There's a lot of people like Britt Brown in your life when you get to where you are.
Was there ever a point throughout that process where you kind of you had doubted yourself? I know you're a very positive individual, but especially when an injury like that and as awful as it was at the timing it was there ever a point where you doubted the point where you thought you would have the career that you ended up having today?
I didn't have a chance to. I couldn't afford to doubt myself because of so many people that didn't believe that I would get back to being the player that I am today. I couldn't afford to think that way. So it was consistently positive thoughts, and then action to make things come alive.
Well, and on the vice versa side of that, was there ever a time where you found or you had finally hit a point in your rehab where you were like, okay, this is something that I'm back to normal, I'm back to 110%, and we're going to continue to get better on that occasion?
Yeah, it was after the 2017 season, around Thanksgiving during the 2017 season, I began getting more of my speed, more of my wiggle back, is what I call it, and just improving each and every game. Heading to the 2018 season, our last playoff year, really was able to let everyone know that I was back.
Yeah.
To being elite, and here we are in 2020 with the new team, new roster, familiar faces, new coaching staff, and we want to win, and that's what we got to put our minds and our attentions to doing whatever it takes to get the job done. So that's where I'm at.
When did you start meditation? Where'd you get that?
That was a 2020 goal. It was a 2020 Q1 goal. I set quarterly rocks of like anywhere from 3 to 7 things that I want to accomplish to just kind of better myself as a man. At the beginning of 2020, Q1 was that I wanted to set a goal for meditating a certain amount of time each and every week, and I've been getting it in, so it's a blessing.
Yeah, it's an awesome trait, but it's actually a learned skill, because you're right, you have to set time aside. And for someone like you, like when your day is so scheduled and so programmed, I remember talking about meditation with Coach Garrett, but have you found yourself like in the football season just kind of adapting with that, or how have you managed then?
No, I've been able to still do it. It's just it's discipline, it's accountability. It's when people like us that have so much going on. I live in my calendar, so I'm looking at my calendar to see this is what I have, and I allocate minutes each and every day for meditation. So I don't know when I'll get it in, but I'll always make sure I get it in.
Have you shared that with any of your teammates? Like, hey, you should try meditation or anything like that?
I have. I think I can do more. I can do more. For sure.
Yeah, I like to see it.
Could you recommend that to anybody out there that's looking forward to maybe trying to better themselves in a way like that? Yeah,
I would say find a designated area, whether it's in your home or in your office. I'm not sure, wherever, and commit yourself to meditating. And it's all about awareness, being aware of where you are. Really listening to your breath, and you just understanding the state of mind that you're in. Taking time, there's different mantras that you can listen to from a musical standpoint to kind of get you in the right spirit to meditate. But I think it's healthy.
Now, we've got about 3 minutes before we got to get off the air here, but whenever you were talking about quarterly goals, I couldn't help but think we're still in the first quarter of this season. Like you said, you really believe that this team is moving in the right direction, and they're going to get things together pretty quickly here. Kind of give us your quarterly goals when it comes to the NFL season. What are some of the things that you know that this defense and yourself specifically have to work on in order to be successful this year?
Eliminating big plays. Eliminating mental errors, a la not beating yourselves, sprinting to the ball. That's those. I would say those are three of. I would identify those as three tasks. From a quarterly goal standpoint, that in the first quarter of the season we need to get there.
Yeah, how are you guys going to handle this late bye week? Kind of interesting. Like the bye week isn't even until second week in November, I think.
I love it.
You're keep playing, don't break it up.
I love it. Let's go. Let's go.
Keep the ball rolling.
Like no breaks.
Let's go.
Keep your foot on the gas.
Let's go.
I know. Well, and it's unique because this year you have the 3 home games, right? 3 home game stretch. But right now it's so weird because they normally would have played an NFC East team. You haven't. And the winless Eagles, I think, are only like a half game out. So this is a really, really odd year for many reasons. But the NFC East is very unique right now.
Yeah, it really is. And Jaylon, we do want to thank you again for joining us here on the Cowboys Hour presented by Miller Lite. It's always great catching up with you. And, man, he's a vet by now of the Cowboys Hour. Taylor, I feel like he should start getting the recognition and being right back up on the posters and everything for the Hour show as well. I mean, he's been here as many times.
I don't design those.
That's true. Yeah, he needs to be on them.
I'm just blessed to be here. I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. Thanks, Taylor.
You're the best.
Absolutely. But Jaylon Smith, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. That's going to do it here on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour this week. Brad Sham will be back next week. You don't have to listen to me anymore. I'm glad I was able to hop in and try and fill his shoes as the best I can. But for Taylor Stern, for everybody involved, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Thanks so much for listening and watching here on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network and DallasCowboys.com.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?